Hi everyone, welcome to practice. Happy Tuesday, happy Christmas week. My name is Anna, this is AWH Yoga. I am so glad that you guys are here with me tonight. I'm very excited to be shooting a yoga flow this week. I took a week off of practicing and a week off of shooting any classes because I had an injury. So I thought of it as an invitation for rest, not something to be worried about or something to be stressed about, as sometimes when we get injured and it feels like such a setback, but I really took it as an invitation to allow my body some rest, because we need to take rest as seriously as we take our practice. So sometimes honoring our body means giving it a break. So I'm back today. I'll still be practicing a little bit lighter than normal, so we're going to do a gentle, slow flow. It's going to be about 30 minutes. I hope that this brings you a sense of comfort and ease within your day, within your body, within your mind, as we go into a busy holiday week. So we're going to begin in a seated position. I do recommend, if you have any blocks or a strap or a yoga blanket or even just a kind of small pillow or towel, those would be great props to add as well. So when you're ready, please join me on the mat. We are going to begin in a seat. So as you come down to your mat, maybe it's like me where you haven't seen your mat in a while. Maybe the edges of your mat are still curled up because it's spent a lot of time rolled up in the corner. As you begin to settle in, closing the eyes, maybe this is the first time you've been able to sort of unroll for a while. Whether you have your hands on your knees or comfortably in your lap, maybe on your calves, maybe you're seated on your heels, you have your hands on your thighs, wherever you are, take a moment to just really soften all the parts of your posture. So you're looking to be in that comfortable, straight spine posture, but in a relaxed way. And now begin to notice your breath. Our breath is our guiding force, not only in our yoga practice, but on our life off of the mat. It's important to take note of our breath and its rhythm and how deep or shallow at any point during our day. Simply by observing the breath, we can learn so much about our state of mind and our state of being. It's from that state of observation and from what we learn that allows us to make those positive changes. Maybe begin to now deepen the breath. So you can deepen the breath by making it more deliberate, more intentional, breathing deeply in through the nose. You can exhale out of the mouth softly, or you can exhale out of the nose. Either way, consciously manage the breath, and in doing so, this sends messages to our nervous system, letting it know that we are calm, and we are safe, and that we are right where we need to be. If you would like to set an intention for your practice, this is a beautiful time to do so. Once you've set your intention, we'll take a deep inhale and exhale together. So inhale through the nose and exhale out. Beautiful. Open your eyes. Maybe refresh your posture slightly, but stay in that heavy feeling space. So we're not going to invite too much movement into the body just yet. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of a neck stretch. So locating your sits bones and feeling grounded, stretching up through the hips and waist, soften the shoulders, and then take your right arm above your head up into the air, and then clasp sort of the over your head and kind of where your left ear is, and then gently bring your head down toward your right arm. Don't be aggressive here. Be very gentle with your neck, feeling that side stretch on the left side of your neck. And just allowing your body to adjust to what this feels like. One more breath here. And exhale, release. Your arm can come back up and back down to your side and back down to your thighs or your knees. Do the other side. So left arm up, inhale. And then on your exhale, reaching it across, kind of at the top of your left ear, and then gently stretching toward your left side, allowing the neck to only go where you feel a slight stretch in that right side. If anything feels strained or starts to really fight against you, just back off a little bit. You can also use the kind of pulling down of the right shoulder to create a little more stretch in that right side of the neck as well. So keeping that shoulder down will also help. Get 2 more smooth breaths in here. Feeling that stretch. Opening up the neck. And then releasing your left hand down to the mat and back to your knees or thighs. Releasing the neck, and move into some shoulder bowls. So again, just subtly inviting movement kind of from the top down. Let's bring our sort of shoulders up to the ears. Inhale and exhale. We don't have to move them in a circle. We'll just do straight up and down for now. So inhale and then exhale. Let's do one more like that. Inhale and exhale. Remember, until yoga, I really didn't know that I was probably walking around with my shoulders and my ears for half my life. It's another indication of tension in that neck and shoulder area. You're probably holding your breath and holding your shoulders up. So as we become mindful of the breath and shoulders and neck, we can really calm ourselves down from the top down. So let's roll the shoulders a little bit, keep that going. So on your inhale, kind of round your shoulders up, bring them forward, and then drop them down. Exhale. So a couple like that. Inhale. And exhale. Get a little bit of movement in the torso going. You don't have to be totally stationary. You just want to sort of isolate mostly that shoulder up to the ears, back down, shoulder blades down the back. Let's do one more. Exhale. Nice. So we'll continue our gentle and slow movement from the top down by placing your right palm next to you on the mat, getting some good extension in that arm, and then lifting the left arm up and over on your inhale, and then exhale, side stretch, getting a ton of stretch in that left side body. As you work to smooth the breath here, I think about keeping your sits bones grounded so your left hip doesn't come up. Lifting up out of that waist and side body, creating space between the ribs. Tons of room for that breath to go. Maybe even turning that chest slightly up toward the sky. And one more breath here. And then exhale back down to center. Remember to take your time with all of these. They don't seem like they're a ton of movement, but sometimes if we haven't done these postures or movements in a while or ever, and we're just starting to unroll, it can be pretty intense. Let's do the other side. Placing your left palm down onto the mat, keeping your right sits bones sort of located and grounded, lifting that right arm up, and then exhaling over to the left side, keeping those hips on the ground, lifting up through that waist and keeping space opening up in the ribs, feeling a stretch through the right side body. Breathing here. Maybe tilting that chest just slightly toward the sky, softening the shoulders down. One more deep breath. And then exhale back to center. Very nice, everybody. So now we're going to move a little bit forward and backwards. We're going to get a little bit of stretch in the hips, then we're going to open up the chest a little bit as well. So first I want you to switch your legs into the non-comfortable position if you're in Sukhasana. If you were in more of sort of a hero's pose or Virasana on your knees, you can come to a sort of cross-legged position, but we're going to switch so it's the weird way. And just give your body a moment to take that in. And then I want you to, again, feel your sits bones grounded. So sometimes in the yoga postures, you might take a class where someone says, move the flesh away from the sits bones. So I don't think about it as much like that, and actually in some scenarios that's not what you really want to be doing, especially for individuals in certain sort of conditions. But really what I like to do is think of sort of mentally and physically locate your sits bones and then root them to the earth, and that is your starting point. That will center you for whatever is coming next, but you don't need to actually physically move any of the flesh away. So let's locate our sits bones, stretching up through the hips and waist, nice long spine, and then from that lifted place, sort of creepy crawl forward. So where my cupcake fingers come in, and then only go so far as right before your hips sort of want to pop up. So we're trying to get a long spine. Remember, all folds are about length, and then you should feel that in your lower back, a little bit in your hips, maybe your outer thighs. If anything feels not good, just bring it back a little bit. You can still get a really good stretch by being just right here, right in front, getting that nice long spine, keeping the neck nice and long and looking just out past where the fingers are so that your neck stays neutral. One more breath here. Exhale, let's sigh it out. And then on your next breath, crawl your fingers back, place them on your knees. Nice. Okay, switch your knees back to the regular way, and then settle for a moment. Let your body take that in as it feels at home. And now we're going to open the chest a little bit. So we're getting a little more movement in the body, and in this posture you can sort of, you don't want to go too far because it is a little bit of a back bend chest opening, which can be very energizing, so we don't want to go too aggressive in the beginning. But place your hands sort of diagonally behind you. If you're more flexible in the shoulders and already more unrolled, as we were saying, you can place them a little bit farther back. This, for me, with my injury, old and new, is difficult, so I'm going to keep mine a little bit farther out. So what you want to do, locate your sits bones and then ground through the sits bones and then open up the chest and collarbone to the sky. This could be very subtle and still really give you a lot of opening. So inhaling, opening up that chest. You're really only opening from the very upper back. So you're not bending all the way from your lower back where you're sticking your belly out like we would be doing in sort of cat-cow. You're really just opening up the chest, isolating that upper back and breathing. One more breath. And then coming back to neutral. Sort of feeling that difference. So I'm going to do that one more time. And maybe that first time you were just trying to get the arms situated and you weren't able to really feel that upper back kind of lifting over the back of something, which I always kind of think of that Olympics thing where they go backwards over the pole, whatever that's called. That's kind of what you want to think about. It's just your upper back. All right, let's do that one more time. Placing your arms behind you, feeling grounded through the sit bones, so ground them through the earth. And then from that lifted position in the waist and the torso, you just open the chest and open the collarbones to the sky. Keep the shoulders soft, keep the neck long. Most importantly, wherever you are, just breathe. One more good breath here. Smooth it out. And exhale, and then slowly come back to neutral. Really nice, everybody. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit more movement. Let's move into our tabletop position or all fours. So in our tabletop, we want to have wrists under shoulders and then our knees under our hips. So we don't want to be sort of in a kind of like parallelogram. We want to really be in a square. So I'll let you work on that analogy in your own body. And now we want to soften the upper back. So sometimes when we get all situated, we end up with kind of a curved upper back. So soften your upper back, lengthen out the neck, and then put a little bit of pressure on the tops of the feet. And then you want to engage those outer hips in. So as you do any one of these things, other things might start to pop out of place and compensate. So maybe when you move your outer hips in, your back goes back up again. So a lot of times in yoga, we are working to harmonize the different sort of cues, and we like to say as you. So, as you move into the posture, or as you, if you squeeze in the outer hips, as you, broaden the collarbones. And by giving those cues together, you can realize how the body needs to harmonize. So from here, we're going to move into our traditional cat-cow. So we start neutral, and then on your inhale, drop the belly, chest and chin up toward the sky. And then on our exhale, reverse that. Draw the navel to the spine. Halloween cat. Kind of feel like I have my Halloween lights today. Inhale, cow pose. Poor skinny cows. And then exhale, Halloween cat. Keep going on your own breath cycle. So this is a really great place to start to sort of get to know yourself today. Get to know where your body is resisting. Get to know where your breath gets choppy. Start to smooth out all of those things. And just introduce the body and the spine to this movement. Let's do one more full cycle. And then come back to your neutral position. Very nice. So now I want you to curl your toes up and come back to toe stand. So again, we've done this before. It can be a little bit intense, but it's such a great stretch for the feet, which just never in my book get enough love. So from here, keeping your hips, your knees sort of parallel, so coming out of the hip socket, you can keep your weight in the hands and control how much you go back onto your toes, but we're looking for actually getting that stretch in the arch of the foot, stretch in the toes. You can come up to prayer, keeping that nice long spine, any mudra of your choice. Wherever you are, just breathe and just sort of allow yourself to have kind of the grace under pressure thing going on right now. I'm going to come come back a little bit off of mine. Let's do one more breath wherever you are. And slowly come back to tabletop. And then I want everybody to cross your legs behind you, so cross your ankles, and then sit back down and move into a seat. So very fancy. From here, what I want to do is a little bit of just sort of self-hug work. So while we're still seated, we're just getting a little bit of movement in. I want you to give some signals to the body that we're introducing this safe place and safe space. So first, extend your arms out, keeping your feet on the floor, knees bent. Extend your wings all the way out. And then cross your right arm over your left, and then just hug your knees in. So you can clasp your sort of outer arms. You can do elbows. If that's not accessible to you, you can just sort of grab the outside of your leg. But you really want to hug yourself in super tight, kind of like at the end of class when we're getting ready for our Shavasana. So really, mean it. Really mean it. Imagine you're just needing this hug. Imagine this is your family member that you haven't seen, maybe because of the crazy restrictions and world we live in today, and you finally get reunited. What's that hug feel like? That's the hug I want you to give to yourself. One more breath here. Exhale out. Sort of release that down. Very nice. And then let's come into a little bit more of, I want to get something in for the ankles here before we do the other side. So not quite balancing, but place your palms to the right and to either side of you and come back a little bit onto your sits bones. Imagine we were going to go into sort of boat pose, but we're not going to go into full Navasana. Soften the shoulders, straight spine. Feel those sits bones, lift the toes up off the ground, activate that core a little bit, and then I want you to roll the ankles. Poor ankles. Okay, try to roll them the other way. I have no idea what's happening with my feet when I say that. I say words and things happen, but I don't really know if they're going the right way. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're getting movement in those ankles, activating that core. You might feel in your upper thighs. Another breath, keep breathing. And then back down. Nice. Probably didn't even realize how much you were activating to do that ankle roll, but good stuff. So let's bring the knees in close again. Do one more hug. So as close as you can, that's comfortable. Extend your wings all the way out. You're gonna cross your left over your right this time, self-hug. I love the self-hug because it really is such a beautiful demonstration of loving ourselves. I think this is something that so many of us have trouble with. And sometimes you need to sort of physically represent that concept to kind of bring home, what you might need. One more deep breath here in this beautiful gesture of self-love. And then exhale, kind of let everything out. And feel that sort of release. Beautiful. Okay. Let's keep going. We're going to get a little more. Curl your toes under and then hover off the ground a little bit. Remember, softening that upper back, squeezing in those outer hips, and then lift your hips to the sky, down dog. So if this is your first down dog of the day, take it as seriously as you take your first cup of coffee. Maybe you can add some extra sugar in there, make it extra sweet. Just take advantage. We rolled out our ankles a little bit earlier, so we might not get as many ankle pops, but pedal your dog. You can sort of run your dog if you want to. Do whatever feels good to you. You can get some movement side to side. Whatever's feeling right for you right now. And when you're ready, come to stillness. And look forward between your palms and then manage all of the weight in your hands and put it into sort of outer palms and then into the fingers. So feel the fingers in this posture versus putting everything into the wrists. So I really want you to focus on that. And let's take a breath here. Exhale out. Another breath in, and then step lots of little steps on your tiptoes. Keep your hands where they are, and then try to get your feet to meet in the same line as your hands. Beautiful. Now, inhale, and you're gonna halfway lift. Keep your knees bent. Ardha Uttanasana, and then forward fold all the way. Keep your knees bent. And then I want you to come all the way up, arms outside like we had our wings. And then bringing your arms above your head, and then down into prayer, and down to the side. Nice. So I'm going to face you guys for this next one. We're going to do a little more of a side stretch before we move into some sun A's. So feet are hips width distance apart, and you're going to inhale your arms up, keeping those shoulders soft, and then I want you to clasp your left wrist with your right hand. So I'm mirroring you guys, so it'll look, I don't know what it will look like. I'm not mirroring you. It will look the same. We will go the same way. So stretching up again. Now we're not seated this time, so we don't have our sits bones grounded, but we have everything here to here staying the same. Lift up out of the waist, stretching over to that right side, shoulders soft, getting stretched in between those ribs, and then find smooth breath. This can be really challenging. Doesn't look like much, but finding space for the breath, and then releasing the tension from the jaw is hard. One more breath. And then back to center. Let's bring our hands to prayer. Exhale. Take one breath here together. Inhale and then out through the mouth. Inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. So before, where we would locate our sits bones and sort of get situated, do that with all four corners of your feet. Draw your tailbone to the floor slightly, kind of knit your ribs together, but keep that length. Inhale, both arms up, and then clasp your right wrist with your left hand and stretching up through the waist over to the left side. So now this time, everything here is staying the same, lifting just that upper body, getting tons of space through that right side, keeping the shoulders nice and soft. If at any point it's difficult for you to keep your arms together, this is actually really tough for my shoulders, you can keep one arm down and then just stretch to the side. Try to get one more smooth breath. And then back up, both hands up, and then exhale through heart center. Beautiful. Okay, let's do a couple of sun A's. So we're gonna do some kind of half ones to warm up. What's really important here is about linking your breath to the movement. So this is a great way to sort of get comfortable with that process. This is a slow and gentle flow. Great time to really slow things down. Think about the basics of Vinyasa, which just means to place in a certain way, and we often think about linking the breath with that. So when you're ready, top of your mat, feet hips width distance apart, or if you're more comfortable with your feet closer together, and then inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold, keep your knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. I'm gonna keep my knees bent the whole time. Forward fold, exhale. And then arms out like wings, all the way up. And then down through heart center, exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, keep your knees bent. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stretch your wings and come up. And then exhale, forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Keep the breath going. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Keep your knees bent. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stretch your wings out all the way up. And then exhale through heart center. Really nice. All right, let's build on to that. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. We've been here before. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Now this time, I want you to move back into plank pose. So both feet come back and create one long line with the body. So think about being parallel to the floor. The only adjustments would be for the actual size, length of your arms, really. Take a breath here. Soften that upper back. Exhale. And then drop both your knees down, pitching forward. and then you can move into your cobra or up dog. And then on your exhale, back to your downward dog. So nice and slow, be gentle with yourself. I probably won't do any chaturangas this whole practice. Deep breath in, exhale out, look forward between your palms, and then you can hop, step, or flow to the front of your mat, trying to get those feet kind of in line with the palms. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, and then arms up and wings. That's going to be our theme for the day. Exhale through heart center and palms down to your side. Let's add on. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And then exhale, step your right foot back. And you're going to be in a low lunge. So in our low lunge, give yourself enough space. Separate your right and left foot so they both have their own lanes. And then feel squeezing that outer hip in so you've got that lift. So if I don't squeeze that hip in, everything's kind of popping out here, the very not prettiest parts of me. Squeeze that in and feel the lift that you get. So softening again that upper back, lengthening the spine, low lunge. Now drop your right knee, uncurl your back toes, lift all the way up, Anjaneyasana. Get yourself situated in Anjaneyasana, feeling that right hip flexor, but don't over stretch it. Try to keep your ankle, left ankle under your left knee and just lifting up and just allowing that to sort of be your maximum place to stretch. One more breath here, nice soft shoulders. And then exhale back down, palms hit the ground, uncurl your right toes, lift your knee back up, back to your low lunge. And then I want you to put your left foot back into your plank pose, drop your knees, pitching forward, cobra or up dog if you're ready. And then on your exhale, back down to your downward dog. Beautiful. One breath in and one breath out. Look forward between your hands. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale on your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Spread your wings. Inhale up. And exhale down through heart center. Okay, let's keep going. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, step your left foot back. Now, step your left foot back, right foot becomes that full foundation, squeezing the outer hip in. So I can't show you guys as well on this side. Squeezing that outer hip in, creating that lift. See the difference? Lifting up. There shouldn't be any dumping of the weight onto the leg or into the wrists at all. So stretching up, beautiful. And from here, drop your left knee, uncurl your toes, Anjaneyasana, lifting up. So feeling the stretch in that hip flexor, but softening the shoulder. Can you soften your jaw? I remember when I first started practicing yoga, I kept hearing them say, soften your face. And I was like, what's going on with my face all this time? We don't realize how much we carry so much strain and stress in the muscles of our jaw. One more breath. And then exhale, palms to heart center, and then back down. Uncurl your left toes, lift your left knee back, step your right foot back, silent and quiet, plank pose, pitching forward, dropping the knees into your cobra pose or your up dog, and back down to downward dog. Inhale here, exhale out. Looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Land in your halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Get ready to spread your wings and fly. And exhale to heart center. Really nice. Okay, I'd like to get one more of those in. So take a breath, and we'll get a little bit more, and we'll come down to the mat to cool down. Okay, here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back. We're in our low lunge again. So we've been here before. From your low lunge again, drop your knee, uncurl your right toes. Now this time I want you to take your right palm, move it a little bit closer to the arch of your left foot. Keep squeezing that side hip in and feeling that lift. Place your left hand on the outside of your left leg, and we're going to twist open to the left. Now the reason I'm placing that here is just because this allows us to really focus on keeping that left hip down and just turning mostly from the upper body. So we're not turning from our hips, we're really turning from the upper body. If it's in your practice, you can move your arm up, you can come up to any twist variation. I'm just taking it super easy today. One more breath. Soften the shoulders, create that long line of energy through the spine. Exhaling out, and then bringing that left palm back down. Kind of move the right palm over, curl the toes back up, lift your right knee. Again, soft and quiet, bring that left foot back to plank pose. Drop the knees, pitching forward, halfway down. Inhaling to cobra or up dog, and then exhaling to down dog. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale out, looking forward between your palms, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Get ready to spread your wings. Inhale, spread those wings. Arms up, hands through heart center, and down by your side. Okay, almost done. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, heart all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the sides of your feet. Step your left foot back, low lunge. Take a moment, we don't need to rush this. Feel that lift. Pressing the weight down through the heel of your right foot really activates that calf. One more breath. Drop your left knee, uncurl your left toes, and now move your left palm a little bit closer to your right arch of your foot. Place your right hand on the outside of your right leg. You're kind of creating a little bit of an internal lever, and then twist open. And as we twist here, you can feel when your right hip kind of wants to pop around. You can also sort of use your right hand to keep it right in your hip crease. This is a trick I use all the time, hand in the hip crease. And as you do that, just allow only the right parts to be twisting. That's what really helps me by keeping my arms sort of out of the equation. One more breath here. Exhale back down, right palm to the right side, and then moving that left foot over, uncurl your left toes, pull that left leg back up, pop that right leg back, plank pose, drop the knees, pitching forward, drop only halfway. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. Take one breath here to clear. We'll move to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, side out of the mouth. Let's do one more like that. It felt amazing. Inhale. Exhale out. And look forward between your palms. You can hop, step, or jump through. I'm going to very carefully move and also twist to face you. Come to a seat. Take a moment to settle into your seated position. We're going to just do a little bit of work here on the floor. So first I want to start with Janu Shirshasana. So first extend your left leg out, keeping a little bit of energy in that, toes facing the ceiling, and then take your right sole of your foot to the inner left thigh, locate your sits bones. So again, not moving the flesh away, but just sort of locate and ground them. And from there, getting some length. And then arms up, inhale, and then folding over that left leg. Tons of options here. You can use your yoga strap here around your foot to bring yourself closer. You can place, actually you could probably use a blanket if you wanted to get a little bit of height under your knee. I often do this in a bent knee position. Lots of options. It is not about folding flat in half onto the floor. It is about getting length in the spine, lifting before you fold. Wherever you are, let's get 2 more beautiful, smooth breaths. And we notice as we smooth out our breath, we smooth out our mind. Next inhale, lift up longer and taller than on the way you went down. Exhale your hands through heart center, and then place your hands on the ground beside you. Now, move your left leg over about this many degrees, like 3 o'clocks over like this, and then move your right foot out slightly. Place your right palm diagonally behind you, kind of like we did earlier on, and then you're going to actually press up into what I call sidewinder, and then coming back down. We're going to do that 2 more times, and let's get the breath involved, slightly dynamic. So inhale, only go as far as you can. Exhale, inhale, and exhale back down. Really lovely stretch. So many things involved, so much openness and space for breath. Nice job. I'm going to move to the other side. So thank you, legs. And then stretching the right leg out. So energy in the right leg, toes facing the sky, left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Locate your sits bones. Got them? Okay. That's our energetic sort of starting point and grounding. Lifting up to the hips and waist. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, forward fold. Same rules apply here. Plenty of opportunity to use your strap. You can even use a towel as a strap. You do not have to use a yoga strap. I don't have one still. Anything you can do to just bring your foot a little bit closer to you and get a little more length in the spine. And one more smooth breath here. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift longer and taller than when you went down. Arms up, and then exhale through heart center. And hands down by your side. And we move into the sidewinder again. So take your right leg out, move it over a couple of degrees, a little bit of room from your foot out from the inner part of your body. Left hand diagonally out, and then on our inhale, stretching all the way up, feel that space from the tip of your right toe to the tips of your right fingers, and then exhale down. 2 more. Make it fluid. Make it almost like sort of water-like. And then back down. See how much more length you can get each time. Use the breath. Inhale. And then exhale. Beautiful. Okay. So now I want you guys to move to, if you have a wall nearby, I'm going to try to demonstrate this on the wall. This is called legs up the wall. Or you can simply do what I call waterfall and just do this in stationary in the air. So first I'm going to show you on the wall. And I think it's going to be a mess because there's so many things here. But I want to show you how to sort of get onto the wall. So you kind of want to sit next to the wall, seems like a good friend. And then you put yourself down here and then sort of move yourself situated. So starting sideways always helps, and then get as close to your wall as you can. Look, it works perfectly. So once you've got sort of your bum to the wall, let everything sort of settle in. You want to draw your navel to the spine and have your lower back on the floor. And then you want a tiny bit of energy in your legs to start, but then what you're going to do is really just relax the legs. So there's tons of different ways to use the furniture in your home or to arrive in this posture once you're here. But arms can be out to the side, whatever is comfortable, but this is a restorative posture. You can also take a supported bridge. If shoulder stand is in your practice and you find that supportive, there's also a supported shoulder stand. Or simply doing this exact motion but in the center of the floor so that your legs are just up. And you'll be surprised at how your body can find that balance and just sort of drop in. And this is a really great posture for anxiety and stress. Could couple it with some different mudras. Mudras are simply a gesture. Typically we see them in hands and fingers. It's a really good way to signal to the nervous system that we're good. And do 2 more breaths here as our bodies and our minds start to come down. And then to get out of this position, be very careful with yourself. And typically just maybe bringing your feet to the wall and then sort of falling to the side is usually pretty safe. And then from there, you can carefully pick yourself up and move back to your mat. Here, we can lie on our backs and do 1 more posture. Be very gentle with our spine, but move into a little bit of a twist, and then move into our Shavasana. So hug your knees into the chest. Give them the self-hug that we've been practicing our self-love. And then you can release your left leg down to the mat, keeping your legs sort of straight out of the hip socket. Squeeze your right knee in for half Apanasana, and then cross your right knee over to the left side of the body. And then if you have a prop here, a block, or even a blanket, pillow, anything to hold the knee, to bring the ground to you if you need it. And then stretching that right arm either out to the side, cactus arms, be placed on the body, but you want to aim to try to have that cross shoulder still on the earth. It's actually a neutralizing posture for the spine. Never seemed like it is, but these twists actually help keep the spine healthy and balanced. 1 more breath here. And exhale out. And then slowly, using your hands to assist you, bring your right knee back to the chest, squeeze it in. And then release down next to your left leg. And bring your left knee into the chest for half Apanasana on this side. Keep energy in that right leg, and then cross that left leg over to the right side again. Use your props as needed. And only go as far as your body says is okay. Our theme today was really about taking care of ourselves, listening to our bodies, and allowing ourselves to feel that it's not a setback when you have to take a break. It's an invitation for your body to rest and become well. And 1 more breath here. And slowly bring your left knee back into the chest. Return to sort of that neutral spine. Bring the knee in and then extend it down. Or if you have another posture that you want to get in, maybe we do a full squeeze Apanasana. You can do a happy baby here. When you're ready, let's do the biggest self-hug we've done thus far. You can even bring your head and neck up, curl into a tiny ball. Deep breath in. And then exhale, release everything out. Shavasana. As you settle into your Shavasana today, release the need to manage the breath and let it return to its natural rhythm. Give all parts of you permission to let the earth support you. All day you hold up others and you hold up yourself in the face of so many difficult challenges. And now just let the earth support you. continue breathing here, and I will let you know when it's time to come back. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Allow some movement into your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists. And allow that to gently ripple through the body in a beautiful, calm, but lightly energized way. And that's the way we want to move out of our Shavasana and back into our life off the mat. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees into the chest, maybe hug them one more time. And slowly turn on to your left side and take one full breath. Carefully move yourself into a seated position, and we'll prepare to close our practice together. Sitting up in your comfortable seat with your eyes closed, remembering your intention that you set for this practice, and remembering that it is okay to accept the invitation of rest. We are human beings. We are not human doings. I hope that you can take this message into your holiday season and have a beautiful and amazing week. Inhale your arms up. Exhale through heart center. Lift your knuckles to your third eye. I bow to you. Namaste.